At times, the most valuable lessons aren't found in books or spoken by philosophers. They emerge silently in surprising parts of everyday moments, instances that appear insignificant until you understand they've made an impression within you. One morning I strolled down a narrow lane where an elderly man waited behind a simple ice cream stand. His features were worn, his gaze kind, and his smile the type that reveals years spent in tranquil acceptance. I didn't anticipate gaining any knowledge from that instance. However, I did. He gazed at me warmly, and in a voice that seemed both inquisitive and eternal, he inquired in Spanish,
¿Tienes algo que decir? Do you have something to say?
I grinned and answered, nearly reflexively, Todo está dicho. Everything is already said.
Está bien dicho. It is good said. And then he grinned.
That was all. A couple of phrases, a short conversation. Yet, in a way, it seemed as if the entire universe existed within the stillness that ensued. Do you have something to say? The question prompts discussion, as if every pause requires completion. However, my response, everything is already said, was not a challenge. It was an acknowledgement, awareness that, at times, words contribute nothing. Silence does not equate to avoid. Quietude is existence. We fill every available space in our world with sound, noise, disputes, and opinions. We talk to be seen, to prove, to persuade. However, there is another form of communication that takes place without sound, in which a shared moment, a gesture, or a gaze conveys all that words cannot. Silence was more powerful than words that day. We frequently believe that wisdom is found in lengthy lectures, intricate theories, or persuasive arguments. True wisdom, however, can occasionally be fleeting and nearly imperceptible. Everything is already said, just 4 words. They do, however, carry centuries of contemplation. This saying encourages humility by informing us that the solutions we're looking for have already been muttered down the ages. We only need to listen in a different way. This little statement also serves as a reminder that we are not the first to love, grieve, hope, or ask. These emotional paths have been traveled by generations before us. They left behind stories, poetry, songs, and prayers that all reflect what we currently strive to say in our own unique ways. Since everything has been felt, everything has been expressed. The elderly man was aware of this fact, and I could tell by his smile that he recognized me as a fellow traveler on this common human path. Being humble has become uncommon in a world where everyone wants to talk louder, faster, and wiser. However, humility characterized the experience at that fleeting instant. I wasn't corrected by him. He did not attempt to add or argue. It is good said, he said simply. Sometimes acceptance, rather than disagreement, is the most meaningful acknowledgement. It's the silent nod between 2 individuals who recognize that meaning doesn't always require justification. I left without uttering another word that day. However, the stillness we shared stuck with me and continues to do so. What can we learn from such a small moment? That wisdom often hides in the most ordinary places. That silence can be powerful. That brevity can reveal truth. That humility can connect us more deeply than pride ever could. And maybe, above all, that every day life is quietly teaching us, if only we slow down enough to listen. Everything may already be said, but not everything is already learned. I am Gerson Torres, and this is Coffee Talk.